About Celtic Connections is that you can check out a roster of international artists and then also discover some of the best homegrown talent. My next guest is from Glasgow, and just 2 years ago she decided to take a new path in life and make music, which is what she'd always wanted to do all along. Before we find out about her whirlwind career, she's going to perform for us, so please welcome Elaine Lennon, who is going to perform 2 songs from her debut album launching this week. Here she is with Next Friday Night.
Hello, I'm with Elaine Lennon and we're talking about her fantastic album. There it is.
That's me when my roots were done properly. That's pre-COVID to hear.
I've never had my roots done. More importantly, we're going to talk about every song on this wonderful album, which has been picked as the best album of the year, I believe. Is that right?
Celtic Music Radio album of the year.
Later on, we're going to be speaking to Findlay Napier, who produced it. It's really fantastic record.
All of these songs I had in this room here, created homemade demos. And that's what I delivered to Finn the very first time and said, look, do you think that we could potentially make an album out of this? I didn't have a standard. I didn't know if these songs were good. I just knew that I wanted them to connect with people. And it was at the time in my life where I was kind of ready to just have a go. So yeah, to take them from those demos through the kind of pre-production chats with Findlay and literally nitpicking and going through and saying, okay, I really like this, but what can we do to make them better? It's a similar process to what we did together with Uncharted Waters. What about a little chord change here? Nothing major changing, but just little bits of magic getting added here and there. So we did that with all of the songs before we even went into the studio.
Yeah, that's when you're producing there, you can call that routining, and it's a really important part of making a record, because it meant that by the time you get to the studio, you kind of know what you're doing, you know. So because the time there is so valuable, and you just want to be able to concentrate on your performance rather than how's this bit going and stuff. So,
yeah.
But I do remember Finn ringing me and telling me that he'd heard what you'd done and really liked it and wants to work with you.
And so it's incredible, the story, really, Elaine's story, to go from meeting you to now. You've made an award-winning album, and I just wondered how you came to produce the record, Finn. How did that happen?
I was driving to a gig in, oh man, where was it? It was a gig down the road near Newcastle anyway, and Elaine called me. I think you'd got, man, someone had who recommended me?
Ben Glover.
It was Ben Glover. And then we had a chat on the phone, and I feel like we hit it off. We had a really good long chat, and then we just started working on it, really. I think at that point I felt quite strongly that if you're making a first record, it's a good idea to make an album so that you have like a calling card. I feel like that was the right call. But also, I mean, the obvious thing was that you brought to me at least 7 songs or 8, and I was like, is there any more? And you were like, oh yeah, I think there's this. And then I just finished this one, there's this and this, and I was like, well, this suggests that you should make an album. And I remember thinking as well, these songs are really, really good, and the performance, like your voice is really good as well. And I thought, no, this is great. This isn't going to be difficult because we have great songs and a great performer. We had the first 2, and all we needed to do was find the great studio. And I think we spoke to a couple of folk before we decided to go with Chem19, which was really exciting for me as well.
The recording of the sessions we did at Chem19 with Paul Savage, who is just an absolute genius. He's brilliant. And we had 2 days to track what they call track 11 songs, there's 11 songs on the album, and the tracking, it's literally just playing the piano, the backing of the 11 songs one after the other. But keep in mind, this was my first experience ever in a recording studio. I didn't know
I had
really
to get album of the year straight out of the block.
Yeah, but do you know what? Every step at that stage in my life was a giant, terrifying leap, because I didn't have any background in this kind of musical environment at all. I didn't really know what to expect of myself, so I put more stress probably on myself than I would even consider putting on anyone else. So when I went in, the first kind of morning in the studio was a bit of a blur, to be honest. I could not tell you what songs I recorded first, second.
You picked two really good people to work with, though, because I think a huge part of when people first get into a studio is not making it feel like an alien place.
This is our breakup song. You've been hanging around way too long. I'm gonna fight you until you're gone. I don't need your soul, just move on. Fear, oh, fear. This is our breakup song.
This vision as well. I think I saw the Karen Carpenter movie at one point in my life where she went in and she sat down and recorded her song, and that was it. And then she left, and it was done in one take. So, I come from the school of movie Karen Carpenter. I thought I was supposed to go in,
Just do it in a one.
record it.
With all the harmonies as well.
Oh, yeah, everything. Yeah, just all in one take. Finn and Paul sat me down and it's like, no, not at all. That's, don't set yourself up for a failure here.
No.
Just go with it, give your best. So they were really good. So it maybe took me about a morning to get used to the whole environment of recording in a studio in the first place. And then after that, it was like, right, let's do this next. Okay, we're on one take. That's us. What's coming after it? And you get into a flow, and it's magical. It was really, really good. I really enjoyed that part.
That's fantastic.